Hello friends, my name's Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 12 and in a change to your viewing today, we are not doing the historic car cup. I will show you why quickly. So essentially I can't find a historic car in Japan, which is where I would kind of like to look, and I also can't, I haven't got any historic cars in my garage. So what I tried to do is I tried to use this Corvette, which was fine for the first race. It was fine. But I decided I didn't really want to use this car all the way through because I don't particularly like it. So yeah, we also won this. I'll just sell this and pretend it never happened because apparently that's what you win in the historic car cup. And then I built this crazy little monster up, and essentially in the second race all that shows up for me is the Ford GT40, and the GT40 exceeds the horsepower limit, so the game is basically trying to screw me, and the GT40 is super duper overpowered. So we're going to come back to the historic car cup in a couple of episodes time. So I figured instead of historic car racing today, we'd actually go wagon racing, because we're going to go on to the tier 3 events now, and we are going to go over to Subaru for a wagon, because of course we are. And we're going to buy a Forester. You can argue among yourselves whether it's a wagon or not. I think it's a wagon, and I really like the Forester, so guess what? It's a wagon. It's my wagon. Let's go. Yes, anyway. Let's buy the Forester S Turbo. Right. We have four-wheel drive. We have a turbo, which is the important bit. Now, do we have racing modification? We do have racing modification. Although, I might actually do that because it looks kind of cool. Do I want to race mod? Actually, no, I'm not going to race mod a Forester. But I do really like the first gen Foresters. I think they're really awesome cars, actually. Some claim that they're sort of a crossover type vehicle, and I don't like crossovers. I think these days, I mean, I guess that's fair enough. I would class them more as SUVs than crossovers, but that's just me. Anyway, I'm going to put a little bit of power into this. I believe the horsepower limit is 295 for the first race, so I'm only going to put a few small little bits onto this car. I'm going to put that turbo on just because why not. Let's get a stage 1 turbo in there, and we've done muffler as well. I'm going to leave the tyres as are at the moment because I don't really require any other ones. So anyway, as you can see, I won the first race of this historic car cup, but I decided not to continue with it. Anyway, we are now doing the Wagon Cup, and we go on to our first race, which is at the Rome Short Course. Okay, take 2 at this race. So, to spare you a bit of the boredom, I found out that this Subaru has really dodgy suspension. It is super quick in a straight line, but it has dodgy suspension, so I've just put the semi-racing suspension on it, so hopefully it doesn't lean as much. Anyway, in this race, we have many estate cars, including a Nissan Primera wagon, which is a very interesting vehicle. I've actually, you know, I don't mind the Nissan Primera, or I didn't used to. It kind of became a bit sucky for its last generation, but before that, it was a pretty cool car. There's a Subaru wagon, because of course there is. There's a Mazda 323F, I remember seeing that on the starting grid. There is a Mitsubishi Cadrina, which is essentially the same as the Forester, but Mitsubishi. And yeah, there is also some other vehicle, which is a wagon, and is very boring, so I don't remember what the hell it is. Yeah, I've also... Thanks, phone. Yay, thanks, phone. Anyways, yeah, I've put suspension on this. I've also put the racing brake kit on this, just because... I figured, like, my biggest weakness with this vehicle was through the corners, and Rome Short is sort of all about them corners, so yeah, I decided to just put racing brakes on this and racing kit suspension, so hopefully the car should be a lot better now than it was. It definitely seems to be a lot better anyway. When I'm throwing it through these corners, before I just couldn't do that. The car was basically launching up onto 2 wheels. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, that's what it genuinely looked like it was doing on the screen. Anyways, by the looks of it, we are hopefully going to be winning this race unless that Subaru decides to dive up the inside, because the AI can take these corners, or this particular corner, at ridiculous speed, and you simply cannot. I think I've won this race though. Yeah, the Subaru's too far back to really do anything about it. Anyways, there we go, we win our first race, and we have got in the starting grid an Impreza, which came in second, a Mazda 323F in third, a Toyota Calderina, sorry it's not Mitsubishi, in fourth, this is a Primera Wagon in fifth, and a Honda Accord Wagon in sixth. So there you go, that was the cars in this race. And yeah, anyways, we get a tasty 5,000 credits, and we get a new car. Let's go and find out what it is. Okay, let's head over to the garage and see what we have got in there. We have got a Impreza Wagon. Yay! Awesome car. Cool. Excellent. Right. Anyways, let's move on to the next race of the Wagon Cup, where we'll be going to the Super Speedway for the first time in this Let's Play, which is pretty exciting considering that's a fantastic track. So yeah, Super Speedway, here we come. Okay, here we are at the Super Speedway, and in this race we have a Mazda 323F wagon, a Subaru Impreza wagon, a Honda Accord wagon. Jeez, the turn I can get off this starting line is pretty insane. I believe that is a modern Subaru Legacy wagon, and there is also, that could be a Stager, or it could be a Mitsubishi Legion. It is a Stager. Okay. Yeah, apparently the Subaru and the Mazda 323F are the fastest vehicles. Out of all of these, let's switch up into 5th gear and give these guys something to complain about. Honestly, like, now that I've upgraded the suspension on this Forester, this is actually a really good car for these events, apparently. It just absolutely destroys when it comes to straight line speed, and through the corners it isn't half bad either. I mean, it's definitely doing its job, which is quite nice. The reason I really liked coming here to Super Speedway is because, yeah, it's a pretty easy track, and it's a pretty easy win for us as well. I mean, it's 2 laps, it's 2 minutes worth of work, and then you've got a prize car and 6 grand, so yay. Anyways, the next race won't be quite as easy as this one because we're going to Special Stage Route 5. However, I do have confidence in my Subaru Forester that we will win that next event because the Subaru Forester is awesome, although it is understeering quite badly, and I would kind of like it to stop doing that because there is a Subaru. He got a better run out the corner, but again, he just can't keep up in a straight line. So there we go, across the line. Total time of 1 minute and 30 seconds. So anyways, the Impreza came in second, the Stager in third, the Legnum in fourth, the Accord Wagon in fifth, and the 323F, despite a strong start, ended up coming home in 6th. So anyway, there we go, there's a rundown of what we did. We get 6 grand and we get a new car acquired. Let's go and find out what it is. Okay, let's head over to the garage and see what we have got. We have got a wagon of some sort. We've got a Mugen Accord wagon. Yay, it's got ugly wheels, and it's got a horrible rear end, so yeah, you're being sold. I don't know why anyone would want the Mugen Accord wagon. I mean, the normal Mugen, that's fair enough, that's a pretty cool car, but that one, just no, that's an awful looking car. Anyways, let's head back to the Wagon Cup for the final race of today, which is at Special Stage Route 5. Okay, so we are on the starting grid for the Special Stage Route 5, and there is a Mazda 323F wagon, because of course there is. That seems to be a common fixture of these events at this point. There is a Mitsubishi Legnum wagon, there is a Nissan Stager, there is a Nissan Primera wagon, and of course the Subaru Impreza wagon has showed up again. This time it's in a different colour though. So, yay, aren't we blessed? We get to see the Subaru in a slightly different colour, which is awesome. Anyways, let's see if the Forester can still come out on top, even at a track as tricky as this, because this is where the Forester's slight handling disadvantage does come into play, because it's not quite as quick as these other vehicles through the corners, unfortunately. It's not quite as quick as I'd like it to be through the corners. Sure, I could have, you know, thrown super softs on it and everything, but to be honest with you, this vehicle doesn't really need them. If you're a good driver, like, it's not too bad. And considering this has got 4-wheel drive and everything, this is better than pretty much 95% of the vehicles I've driven in the past few episodes that have had silly rear-wheel drive, like the TVR and the Jaguar, which had rear-wheel drive issues. It's kind of nice driving a 4-wheel drive car again with, you know, I mean, it's got a decent amount of power. It's actually only got 293 horsepower, which is pretty incredible that it's actually doing this, considering I can imagine the Forester does weigh a little bit more than these cars do. Then again, I did perform full weight reduction to this thing, so I guess it's kind of a little bit athletic, but still, I mean, not by much. Anyways, a pretty calm first lap there, managed to pass everyone, although saying that the Subaru is, he's definitely a little bit quicker. Maybe he's one to watch for later on. But, yeah, that Subaru probably just has a little bit less weight than me, I'd imagine. That's really his only real advantage there. I think I've got the advantage when it comes to the power, because, again, I'm not sure what the Impreza runs stock. It says 276 on the stats, but you can't trust the cars in the dealerships, because they have, like, completely different stats to what they actually end up with. Like, the 82 Corvette that I bought for the episode, or sorry, for the Historic Car Cup, that had 200 horsepower in the dealership, but when I took it home it had 220. So, yeah, I mean, the car horsepowers can be a little bit different. A lot of people say it's a glitch. Apparently it's actually just a sort of a fun little thing GT2 does, where it's supposed to emulate like actual car dealers, where they sort of lie about the horsepower and stuff like that. Which is why cars like the, I think it's the 3000 GT and the Nissan Skyline especially, they say like, oh, 276 horsepower, and you actually get into the garage and realise they've got like 325. Then cars like the Renault Clio, I believe the game claims it has 172 horsepower, but when you get it home it actually only has like 110, so yeah, that isn't particularly great, but still, it's a nice little thing Polyphony did, if it is indeed a real thing. Anyway, that Subaru, no, there we go, I just about won that. I really shouldn't have started weaving, I would have probably, yeah, that was very close, that ending, apparently. Yeah, that wasn't fun. I'm not going to do that again. Bear in mind, if that finish line was like just that little bit further away, I would have been absolutely boned there. But anyway, we get 7 grand and we get a new car acquired. Let's go and see what it is. Okay, let's head over to the garage and see what we have got. We have got a Stasia. Yay! The car that we've been competing against. Oh god, it's got a completely different moulding to it. It's got quite a lot of power actually, which is quite surprising. And it comes in an awesome colour. So yeah, anyways, that's what we unlocked. So anyway friends, that is it for today's episode of the Gran Turismo 2 Let's Play. I hope you enjoyed. Anyways, my name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.